What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Ronnie Pugs, back again with another Spider-Man Homecoming 2 related video. We're getting closer to the summer, which means the Homecoming sequel will begin filming soon, and aside from a few pieces of information, we don't know much about the film yet. One piece of information we were given a while back was that another MCU hero would appear in the Homecoming sequel though. Early rumors speculated that it would be Chris Evans' Captain America, but it looks like he's done after Avengers 4, so I figured why not make a video talking about which MCU characters I'd want to see make an appearance in this movie. It could be anyone honestly. I'm also going to talk about how I'd include these characters in the story, so let's get straight to it. My top 5 MCU characters I'd like to see appear in the Spider-Man Homecoming sequel, in no particular order. I hope you guys enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts.
Coming in at number 5, and my personal favorite pick, but sadly the least likely in my opinion, is Daredevil. Ever since I got the Spider-Man vs. Daredevil VHS and saw the original Daredevil movie all the way back in 2003, he's been my favorite superhero second to Spider-Man. And I think that's because these characters are both so similar and work so well together. They're both normal people behind the mask, they take on similar foes, their costumes look the same, and they've even lost one of their guardians thanks to some form of a fight. I say it's the least likely on the list because the Marvel TV and film studios have never crossed over in this way. Kevin Feige has teased it, but I honestly won't believe it until I see it. But if Daredevil did appear in the upcoming Spider-Man film, I think a great way to include him into the story would have to have one of the main villains in the story involved in some sort of gang that both Spider-Man and Daredevil are after. Scorpion seems like the type of character that could fit this role, and maybe he's working for other characters like Tombstone, Mr. Negative, Hammerhead, Silvermane, or even the Kingpin if Marvel wants to go that far. So that's it for Daredevil at number 5. Now on to another character I'd say is unlikely to appear, but like I said, it could be anyone at this point, even Korg, at number 4 where I've ironically placed Johnny Storm. This all depends on what Marvel's allowed to do with the Fox character rights right now. However, there have been rumors of the Silver Surfer appearing in Avengers Infinity War, so maybe there's something we don't know about. This would be so easy including Johnny Storm in the film. You don't even have to show him as the Human Torch yet. In the Ultimate Comics, Johnny and Peter are friends from the issues I've read. Johnny goes to Peter's high school for about a day until something completely unexpected happens, and he's also a huge fan of Spider-Man. So you could just make him one of Peter's friends in high school. It's been reported Sony's looking for a young actor with leading man qualities of any race around the same age as Tom Holland. It didn't hit me at first, but who's to say this can't be Johnny Storm? Like I said, you don't have to show him as the Torch yet, and if the rights are an issue, just have everyone call him Johnny or Jonathan, then later retcon it down the road that his full name was Johnny Storm. This works because you don't even have to include him in the story in a huge way, and maybe he eventually gets the inspiration to become a hero when he finds out Spider-Man saved some classmates a while back. Number 3, and going back to one of the rumors for Spider-Man Homecoming, I don't think it'd be too out of the ordinary for the Black Widow to appear in this movie. I'm not saying she has to have a huge impact in the film. Maybe sometime after Avengers 4 she gets a higher position over at S.H.I.E.L.D., and at some point in this movie, Spider-Man contacts S.H.I.E.L.D. or vice versa, similar to what we got with Happy Hogan in Spider-Man Homecoming. I'd just make this a brief cameo. It was rumored she'd appear in Spider-Man Homecoming, but we all know how that went. I actually think this would be great promotion for her upcoming films, similar to what Civil War did for Black Panther and Spider-Man. That's about it for number 3. I know these characters don't interact much, and I don't know of many ways she could impact the story. If you guys have any ideas, let me know because I'd love to read them. Number 2, and thanks to the box office success of his movie, is the Black Panther. We all know Sony needs that money, that's why we're getting all kinds of Spider-Man spin-offs that no one really wants, so what better way to take advantage of this Marvel deal than to use one of their highest selling characters right now. I could definitely see this working if the Spider-Man Homecoming sequel decides to use Kraven the Hunter. Ryan Coogler, director of Black Panther, wanted to use Kraven in his film, but we all know how that went. It's also been reported that the Spider-Man Homecoming sequel is filming in certain parts of Europe. Kraven is European, so why not do something like Kraven's been on the run for a while, he's stolen vibranium and sold it to Claw in the past, and he's also hunting animals with vibranium weapons, and now he wants to hunt Spider-Man. This gives both Peter and T'Challa a reason to go after him. Tom Holland also said he'd like to team up with Shuri in the future, and overall a movie with both Black Panther and Spider-Man will make so much money. Number 1 and my second favorite pick in this list behind Daredevil is Doctor Strange. I think of all the characters in this list, he'd be an easier character to include. He'd tie in perfectly if Marvel and Sony decide to use Mysterio as the main villain, and the way I'd work Doctor Strange into the story is, Peter's been having trouble fighting Mysterio. Let's say at this point he's already lost to him twice. So he goes to seek out someone with a similar power set, Doctor Strange, who we know are both aware of each other thanks to the Infinity War trailer. Peter arrives at the Sanctum and sees what he thinks is Doctor Strange in danger. He crashes through the window realizing there is no danger, but before he knows it, he's trapped in a nightmare he can't get out of, resulting in Doctor Strange having to go save him. Peter eventually wakes up and asks Doctor Strange if he has any advice in stopping Mysterio. If you're wondering where that idea came from, it's from Ultimate Spider-Man issue 71. I highly recommend picking that issue up, just based on the chance of that scene coming to life. I want Doctor Strange in the upcoming movie. I think both characters work well together, and like I said, this would be a no-brainer if Mysterio's the main villain. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of the list and tell me which MCU characters you think will appear in the Homecoming sequel. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. This video was also inspired by Waruboi's top 5 villain choices for the MCU. Definitely go check that out. I've linked his video down below in the description. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe, follow my social medias, and I'll see you guys again in my next video.